All right, everyone. Hey, good Friday morning to you. Gosh, I'll tell you what. How many of you keep a clean desk? My dad. I have. I've got this really big, 27-inch. I don't know. It's an Apple computer. It's big. I mean, and then I've got my laptop over here. I've got a tablet. I've got my cell phone, and then so I've got doing my multitasking thing, I guess you can say. But oh gosh, it just never ends. Tons of paperwork and other things, to say the least. Like two or three different mouses, but I'm trying to find room for my keyboard and my coffee. So this is Friday coffee break here. So, hey, sorry about yesterday's video. I hit the end screen share and it ended the whole entire program. So if you watched that, and you had a question, go ahead and post a question here, if you would like. But the other thing, what I want to basically, I want to recap my week. Had a really good week. I hope you all have had a really good week. This is Friday before Christmas. I know everybody is extremely busy. I know we have an extended family. We have 6 children that are blended children. We have an adopted daughter, 11 grandchildren. So our Christmas with family starts this weekend, and we're still not even done shopping. So I've got a call right after this here, and then I've got some errands I've got to run. So I'm going to take off and hit the store, get a couple things, and then come back and go back to work. But I want to also recap in the week and give you kind of the idea of what I do. My day really starts extremely early. Usually get up around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I've been kind of running a 30-day challenge, doing some things there. I get my exercise, get those things. But the first thing I do is I check my messages. And of course, I had a gentleman from Australia today on my LinkedIn page decided to tear up one of my posts and find fault with something because of a post I was sharing, and didn't agree with, I guess, it wasn't my information, it was somebody else's information, but it was great information. And regardless, he just was looking at it from his own personal situation, wasn't quite getting grasping the message here. And we set him straight. I think we did. If anything, we provided a lot of value on the post because we provided a lot of additional information. So great stuff. And so, my takeaway from that for the week is, when people post comments, whether they be comments in line with what you're talking about, or even if they might be, some people might refer to them as trolls and haters and whatnot. But even if they're not really, their thinking or way of thinking is not necessarily in line with yours, that's okay. Because when yesterday we were talking about organic reach and getting a larger reach. When your posts get more content or comments, that is, then that is a good thing, because that's engagement. And so regardless what platform you're on, engaging posts will prompt the algorithms to send that out and have that show up on more people's news feeds. So enjoy the comments, be it good or bad. That would be my recap for the week. Don't get in arguments. Don't take it personal, because in most cases it's not personal. What I usually find is when people jump on my posts, and I get a lot of them. I get a lot of direct messages, and I get a lot of email. Matter of fact, I've gotten 2 emails this morning that people had some issues with some posts, and issues with comments or whatever, and take it in. take it in and educate yourself, and what can you do to recap. So my day starts kind of checking my messages, going through that, and then getting ready for this Facebook Live, making that commitment to show up here every day at 9 a.m., whether or not anybody's here or not, and just talking to myself in a screen. If anything, it allows me to process things in my head. The other thing is, then around 10 a.m., I just start jumping on the phone. I have phone calls. Fridays are a day that I try to keep somewhat open to clear up the week, and get. Hey, honey, how you doing? My wife Lori just joined. I've got my coffee. Do you have yours? Anyways, so you have the. Lost my thought. Yeah, so I turn. Thanks. I'm not alone. Okay, that's good. But anyways, it allows me to clear up my week. So I try to keep Fridays somewhat open, and get things that I didn't get done during the week. I write a lot of content for the back office or for the membership site. I am working to curate other content, searching the web for other things, still making connections, reaching out to new people, opening up new conversations, and I clean that up a little bit on Fridays, and so I try to keep my calendar somewhat open to fill in things and reschedule things. And then part of it is I also spend the day and thinking about what else needs to be done. I wish I could use a planner, but I don't. I find it, I have multiple planners. I mean, I got I think 2 here, maybe 1 or 2 downstairs, and I'm just not a huge journal person. I want to be, and that's I want a little more organization in my life, and I feel like that'll get more done. I do want to talk about one thing as we kind of recap the week. Some things that I learned. I'm a student. I constantly try to keep improving, looking for areas that I can do better, not only in the water safety community, but in my own business and my own life. But there's 3 things that I want to recap. Something was shared to me by one of the business coaches and people that I follow. Really doesn't have, what he teaches and what talks about doesn't really have anything to do with water safety, but what he teaches is just when you're talking about your content, there's a couple things when you're posting. So we were talking about better or more organic traffic, and recapping this week, that's where I'm really going into next week with Christmas and the holidays into 2020. We are really putting a lot of focus on more organic traffic, and then tailoring that organic traffic to the point where if we do great organically, then we can take that and it should translate into some type of paid spot or sponsored content. So the first thing is what they refer to as the opener. So one of the things that was learning this week was, when you are posting something, you want to have an opener. Okay, he calls it grab them by the throat. I don't know if I'd use that language, but anyways, you get, a lot of people will call it a hook, something that's going to hook them, but if you could visualize this, your post or your picture, your graphic, your video is reaching out and you're grabbing them and pulling them into, and let them know. So tip 2 on that would be let them know that they're in the right place. Okay. And why it needs to be you. Okay. Why do you need to be the one to educate them about what it is you're talking about? So you grab them, pull them into your place, and educate them why you're the one, that it's not the other person. Okay, and then we kind of have the middle piece. Okay, so one of the things I was recapping from the week is the middle piece. What would that really consist of? The middle piece is you're planting seeds. Your content should plant seeds. What it is that you're basically leading them to. So the other thing is content that sells. I mean, you might think, well, but I don't sell anything. Well, if you're pulling them in and you have water safety education, you have something, then you're selling them on your education. And so the content has to be, so in other words, when content sells, it has to have some form of copywriting, and not everybody's a copywriter. So, I would suggest that you pick up a book or look at something and learn a little bit about copywriting. There's a ton of great books. There's audiobooks, other things like that, or just go to the library. And there are simple little copywriting formulas. But one of the things that we're doing in our members area, we are putting up templates to help you with that copywriting. So look for many more of those to come. And prove what you're saying is true. Okay. Why, so you need to prove and back it up. Okay. Because you're building that know, like, and trust. So you're grabbing them by the throat. You want them to know you. You're bringing them into place and educating them why it needs to be used. So now they know you. And now the middle piece is now they start to like you. Now you're kind of, showing them, planting the seeds so they will begin to follow you and listen more to what it is that you're talking about. And then proving why, you again, giving them proof to back up, what it is you're talking about. And then we talk about the close, which is the end piece. Okay, so in your content, you have, should have the opening, the middle, and a close. And the close really is what is stacked. Is what they refer to as a stack. You're stacking value on top. In other words, I'm giving you this information for free, and I want you to think about that. Change the wording from a free. Let's say you're giving away a free consultation. Okay, instead, a consultation for free. So instead of saying you're giving away a free consultation, just move the word free to the end and let them know that the consultation is free. Then maybe under normal circumstances it's not free. Okay, but you're giving them a bonus. You're giving them, some value. Okay, always provide value in what it is that you're doing, and create a sense of urgency. And I think when we're talking water safety, swimming lessons, and I know, Allison, you put out a video yesterday about going to vacations. That's some really great points, because even though you may have a backyard pool in your home, and you have all the layers of protections, door alarms, window alarms, and you've done everything right that a parent should be, you have to understand when you go someplace else, they're not going to have the same precautions, and they may not see water safety the same way you see it. And so it's important to question, number one, question those things. And I think what you talked about, Allison, in that video was great. So, I mean, we can, again, grabbing them by the throat, pulling them in, saying, "Hey, come into my world. Here, let me teach you, and here's why. Because this is what I do for a living. This is why I do this. This is what I've learned and what I see." And then I'm planting the seeds to do that. And then content. You're providing a lot of value with providing 10 tips to keep people safe, and then proving it why, because this is what I do for a living. And then the close, you're stacking. Then that close has to lead into some type of call to action that you want them to take, what you want them to do, and then give them a sense of urgency. I know when we used to be in financial services and we sold investments and things like that, and as adults we forget this, but if we have children, when children want something, what do? Okay, we as parents, we tell a child no, they can't have something. What does the child do? The child throws a temper tantrum. They want that. They'll do whatever it takes to get that. They'll lay in the middle of the floor at Walmart and throw a temper tantrum until they get that candy bar. I'm not saying that's what we need to do, but we need to create a sense of urgency. So when we was in financial services, we called it pull the carrot back. It's kind of like you got a carrot, you're going to dangle it in front of them, and you want that? No, you can't have it. But I'll give it to you as long as call it a quid pro quo. I'm sorry about the political joke. Anyways, Um, but you know, but again, it's about creating that sense of urgency and why they need to do it and do it now. Okay, and I know in there's a lot of people that have issues around families. They would rather have their children go to soccer, baseball, all these other type of things instead of taking in swim lessons. My dog's barking for some reason, but anyways, might be the snowman coming to the house. It's still snowing out there. And so those are kind of my takeaways of something that I learned this week. I mean, these are things that I've known for a long, long time. But, you know, I invest in myself constantly. I learn, I read, I listen, I search. So part of my day is I spend part of my day every day looking for somebody who I can learn from and how I can improve what it is that I'm doing, but at the same time, how I can improve myself and get better at getting that water safety. If we all, and when I mean everybody here, gets really good at these things, our content's going to spread much farther and wider across the internet, and we're going to reach so many more people. That is part of our mission here at the Kelsey Code. So, guys, I know it's Friday, and we all need to get back to work. But before we do, I just want to thank you. Take the weekend off as far as I am concerned. You won't see me over the weekend, but I will be back on Monday at 9 a.m. With something. And so and hopefully post your comments. Let me know what you think of these videos, these Facebook Lives. I'm hoping to upgrade my system here come first of the year. And we'll have a little bit better control over what we're doing and doing split screens. Also, I am talking to some people about coming on board, and we could start to have some guests. And so it's just not me speaking at you. That way, you know, we have the opener, and I'm going to provide you some middle piece here. So, make sense? So you guys are all awesome just for being here. Number one, you're all awesome for watching. Number two, you're all awesome because of what you do. And you provide so much value to the world, so much more value than what I can do. But I want to be able to support you and what it is that you're doing so we can all do a better job. And so have a great weekend and be safe, whatever you're doing. And if you're traveling, if you're leaving, you're traveling, you want to binge listen, get over to thekelsgroup.com/podcast, binge listen to my podcasts, and share that information or YouTube channels, whatever. Reach out to somebody that's a member. You go to the Kelsey Code Facebook group, you'll see a list of members. If you see somebody that you don't know, reach out to them. Okay? Reach out to them, introduce yourself, become friends, and strike up a conversation. Learn from others, and I think we can start a lot of new relationships that can take each and every one of us to the next level. So, guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. We will just talk at y'all later. All right. See you now. Bye.